Well, it's official. The United States Senate is dead.
U.S. farmers are regretting their vote for Donald Trump after their business suffers. Womp womp. Since China implemented their tariffs, farmers are suffering because soybean farmers, especially in the Midwest, are not being able to export as much as they're used to. I wonder why. Yet they voted for him anyway. They voted for him about 2 or 3 times, actually. I don't know how you thought voting for him would help you in your business when creating tariffs will probably hurt you, and he's said he's going to do this multiple times, but another example of Americans thinking that other parts of the world need them the most. Brazil is the #1 soybean import for China. They don't need the U.S. Brazil is steadily increasing the production year after year after year, while the U.S. has remained stagnant. And y'all thought Donald Trump getting in office will help y'all? You put somebody in office who directly hinders your business. I need these people to take a survey so I can understand why they make the decisions that they do. But again, womp womp. You put somebody in office because of reasons, and now you're paying the price because of those same reasons. You just thought they wouldn't affect you.
Hey everyone, welcome back to this channel. Today's video is gonna be a deep one. We are reacting to some clips and headlines about a growing number of white farmers who are now regretting voting for Donald Trump, and not just for political reasons, but because they are losing their farms, they are losing their crops, they are losing their livestock, they are losing their workers, just their entire farms. Yes, so in this video of today, we are going to react to this growing number of white farmers expressing regret over voting for Donald Trump after they have faced major labor shortages and economic setbacks. As immigration policies tighten and farm workers disappear, many are now dealing with the consequences, from unharvested crops to financial ruin. Yeah, in this video, we are going to cover why the farmers supported Trump initially, how immigration policies have backfired on their businesses, and personal stories from struggling farm owners, and also my honest take on the situation. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you think this was predictable, or are you surprised? Like, comment, and subscribe for more reactions and deep dives into real world stories. Let's get into this.
Guys, Trump has done it. He has brought jobs back to the United States. AM/PM staffing services are hiring farm pickers. You can pick blueberries at their client's farm in Loranger, Louisiana for $11 an hour, 9 to 10 hours a day, 7 days a week. I tell you what, that's just living the dream. Who doesn't want to work in the fields 10 hours a day for 3 months in the summer in Louisiana? Hell, kids will be out of school soon. Give them something to do during the summer. I hear the kids yearn for the fields. But seriously, who are they going to get to do that? Go out picking blueberries 70 hours a week for $11 an hour. Now, blueberry plants are actually a little bigger than I thought, so I guess you're not bent over the entire time picking them. Honestly, $11 an hour, I hope no one shows up. I hope their farm goes under, because that's absolutely insane.
I've had enough. Yeah, I've had enough of this horse shit. I don't give a shit what kind of law you make. I ain't going to follow it. I ain't paying my taxes this year. I just don't even care. I'm not going to be ruled by tyrants. I'm done. No taxes. I'm not following your goddamn laws that you make that are arbitrary and unconstitutional. I just ain't doing it. I've had fucking enough of your bullshit. Washington State, Oregon, California, kiss my ass. I ain't following no more laws. No more new laws that don't make no sense. Your little snitch line and all your bullshit you got going on, I'm not doing it. I'm not funding your scams and your NGOs and your fucking bullshit. Your wars, your thieving. Yeah, thieving. You loudmouth politicians that don't give a fuck about the common person. I'm done. I've had enough. I am no longer going to participate in your horse shit. And I don't give a fuck what you try to take from me. I come into this world with nothing. I'll go out with nothing. I don't give a fuck. Fuck you and fuck off. And on top of that, you best leave me the fuck alone, because you won't like the results if you come out here and try to stomp on my neck. It won't end well. I'm old. And I'm mean as fuck. Leave me alone.
Hey, you can get it. You can get the anger. You know, these farmers, they voted for Trump because he believed, most of them believed in securing the border. But now they can't find anyone to pick their crops. And they're not the only ones. Here's the irony. A lot of farms have relied on immigrant labor for decades. Legal or undocumented, they have built their businesses around it. But with Trump's immigration crackdown and also fear spreading through immigrant communities, many of those workers left or just stopped showing up. Yes, so now before we dive in deep, no matter your political views, this is about consequences, policy impacts, and people's real lives. So let us keep it real in the comments, respectful and honest. Let's get into this. I'll be back.
So now that I have fallen down this rabbit hole, I just jumped onto Twitters, and I got an alt Twitter where I pretend to be a MAGA guy, and I saw a live, and I am not kidding you. This dude, all these dudes in these farmer dudes in there, these farm owner dudes, they're saying, well, we thought the blacks would come back and do the jobs because they don't have jobs. Well, I'm sorry to break it to you, but black people have jobs, and you thought you were getting your slaves back is basically what you were saying. Like, that's what you thought. It's still going right now, and I'm not going to post a link to it because I don't want to give these people a voice. But they think they're in a safe space on Twitter. They're not.
Didn't I tell y'all that's what they thought? They thought black people were going to go get them jobs in the field. Since the migrants are gone, we ain't got no jobs, so we going to go back in the field and pick. That's what they thought. Oops. We worked for free in this country for 290 years. We ain't picking nothing for y'all. Y'all better get y'all white folks out there and go pick them fruits and them vegetables and take care of them cattle and the chickens. We not going out there. But I made a video. I can't find the shit, damn it. But I made a video when this all started, and I said they think black people are going to go back and work in the fields. That's why Donald Trump said they are taking black jobs. They think that's what we're supposed to go do. And they're finding out real quick, black people ain't coming. Y'all can hold your breath on that one. We ain't picking shit for y'all. We will grow our own vegetables and take care of our own selves. We not going to them fields. Y'all better figure out what y'all want to do about this immigration policy and these mass deportations, or white folks, get your ass out there and go pick your own goddamn food. But we ain't coming.
Farmers and ranchers around the country are waiting with bated breath to see if the Trump administration is going to release critically needed funds that were set aside to help farmers and ranchers improve their operations around the country. Hi guys, welcome to the Back 40. My name's Will, and let's talk about it. Recently, I did a video speaking to a young rancher about the many dominoes that have fallen over the last 40 years that have led to rural America, for the most part, voting against its best interest. But I've been waiting to see how our local politicians would respond to the actions of the Trump administration, actions that are critically harming farmers and ranchers in our state. Now, any of you that have watched my videos know that I don't lose my temper very often, but I've got to be honest with you. What I saw today gave me what my grandpa would have called a case of the serious red ass.
But it's all going to work out. Right now, it's a little bit disruptive, but that's what this administration promised whenever they were coming to Washington.
For those of you that don't know, that's Jason Smith, and he's a Republican congressman from the state of Missouri. I guess when you've got a guaranteed government paycheck and 3 squares a day that you know are never going to end, it's easy to lob a turd into another man's punch bowl. Well, Jason, I've got a few things to say to you. When a farmer or rancher is facing the loss of their family farm or ranch because they spent money that the federal government promised that they were going to reimburse, it's all going to work out is not the policy response that they're looking for. Jason, maybe some of you rural Congress people haven't spent enough time in your district lately, because you should know that in rural America, when we make a promise, we do everything to keep it, especially in the farming and ranching industry. And when a farmer plants his crop in the spring, he's asked to sign a contract to buy his seed. He's asked to sign a contract to buy his fertilizer. All throughout the year, he's asked to sign a contract for the inputs he needs to keep pests and weeds out of his crop. And in the end, he's asked to sign a contract to determine what price his commodities will sell for. Over and over again, the American farmer and rancher is asked to sign a piece of paper that requires him or her to keep their word, no matter what. And the consequences? The consequences not only mean the difference between profit and loss, they can mean the difference between keeping or losing your family farm. So my question to any politician right now supporting these policies of the Trump administration is simply this. Why do we as American citizens, especially as farmers and ranchers, have to live by a different set of rules than you do? Why are we asked to keep our commitment and our word when you're not doing the same thing for us? Now, rural America, I want to say something directly to you, and I hope you'll listen with an open mind. As I've said many times before, I'm not asking any of you to admit that you were wrong. I'm just asking you to admit that you were lied to. I've said it before, and I'm going to say it again now, rural America. Our focus on the culture wars have led to us not electing politicians that stand up for the best interest of rural America. And it's also prevented us from holding accountable the very politicians like Congressman Smith who made promises to rural America that they're breaking right now as we speak. Fighting the culture wars for the politicians in Washington, D.C., and the crooked televangelists on television all over this country doesn't do a single thing to build a fence on our farms and ranches. It doesn't do a single thing to build a stock tank on our farms and ranches. It doesn't do a single thing to improve the quality of the soil on our farms and ranches. And it doesn't do a single thing to keep our kids at home once they graduate from college to carry on the Lord's work of farming our farms and ranches. Now, rural America, here's your last history lesson for the day. There was a time in this country where the Midwest, Kansas, Nebraska, Missouri, Iowa, all throughout the Midwest, we were a hotbed of liberal, progressive farmer activism in this country. We knew the difference between the gilded tower and the farmhouses and sod houses that we all lived in. We knew who was looking out for us and who was fighting for our best interests. And over time, these culture wars and the lies that we've been told as a result of these culture wars have caused us to lose sight of the issues that are really important to us. And that's fairness in farming and ranching. It's the ability to control, better than we can now, the cost of inputs, the cost of what we sell our products for, and more control over the entire process itself. Many of you probably don't know that farmers used to march in the streets in the cities in Kansas and Missouri and Iowa and Nebraska to stand up against the oligarchies of their day that were forcing them to live like paupers on their own farms. It's time for us to do that again. There's no doubt about it in my mind, and we have to do that together, regardless of political ideology or political persuasion. So now is the time, while tough decisions are being made for us by politicians who intend not to keep their word, for us to make our own tough decisions ourselves. Are we going to put the culture wars behind us and to begin to vote for politicians that understand rural policies and will keep their word when they make a promise to us as farmers and ranchers? I hope so, because without it, it's only going to get worse. And in the end, we're going to have a country whose landscape is covered by corporate farms owned by Big Ag and Wall Street. And my friends, if that happens, the epitaph on the tombstone covering the graves of all of the small farms and ranches in the United States of America will simply read, "You were warned and you chose not to listen." Have a great day.
I don't care. I don't fucking care. All these videos on this app about how in 3 weeks the grocery stores are going to be empty, good. Fucking let that fucking play out. Okay, take some precautions, but let that shit play out. Farmers on this app boo-hooing because they're losing their farms, fuck all the way off. What did you think was going to happen? Joe Biden bailed you out, then you turned around and voted for Trump. So yeah, I'm glad that all your government grants and bailouts and farmer welfare got taken away from you. And I hope to God a Democrat buys your land and is profitable. Truckers, oh my God, the amount of truckers on my algorithm right now boo-hooing that they don't have any loads, which by the way, at first is kind of funny. What? 90% of you voted for this. What the fuck did you think was going to happen when he tariffed the whole world and there was going to be no product to move around the country? Hello? Oh my God. Oh my God. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm scared to death of the fucking shitstorm that we are all about to fucking walk through. And the longevity of those empty shelves fucking keeps me up at night. But the only thing that keeps me going is that any day it could happen.
America has never lacked labor. It just always had a very clear idea of who should be doing it. The fields, the factories, the kitchens, the care work, always someone else's job. And now, according to our Secretary of Agriculture, that job should go to Medicaid recipients. Not because they volunteered, not because it pays well, but because in the eyes of power, the poor are disposable, and poverty is now a work assignment. Recently, the Secretary of Agriculture suggested that immigrants being deported from this country will be replaced on farms by Medicaid recipients. Let that sink in. We're now saying if you are poor, you work. If you are sick, you work. If you are disabled, an elderly, or a veteran who served this country and now relies on public health care, you work. Not because it's a calling, but because your life, your value, is reduced to whether you can produce cheap labor. For food you may not even be able to afford yourself. This isn't policy, it's punishment. It's the reincarnation of an old American idea that certain people were born to serve, and if they can't serve willingly, then the government will assign them value. Let's be real here. We know who she's not imagining out there in the fields. She's not thinking of white mothers in rural Ohio. She's not thinking of Vietnam vets who've spent decades battling PTSD. She's not thinking of your grandfather on oxygen or your neighbor recovering from surgery. But when she says Medicaid recipients, she wants you to picture black or brown face, a poor person, someone else. This is not about labor. This is about lineage. This is about who America has always considered the help. And now that immigration is being restricted and borders are tightening, they're looking inward and they're asking, who's left to exploit? But here's the irony. The people they want to push into those fields are the same people who built the country in the first place, who fed America, who picked, planted, and processed without dignity, wages, or thanks. And we are not going back. This isn't just a cruel policy suggestion. It's a reflection of how far the political mind has strayed from compassion and logic. Because if they truly cared about labor shortages, they'd reform immigration, they'd raise wages, they'd offer healthcare, housing, and safety. But instead, they punish the poor for being poor, and they punish the sick for being sick. So the next time someone in power suggests that Medicaid recipients should work the farms, ask them, which ones? The single mothers in trailer parks? The white veterans on disability? The 74-year-old widower in Alabama? Because if you're going to assign people to the fields, don't pretend it's about fairness. Call it what it is. Modern day indentured labor, dressed up as policy. And let me be clear, we've picked enough. We've bent our backs for centuries, and we are not going back to the fields for anyone's political.
Okay, this is for all the Trump voters, but most notably the Trump farmers that are begging Trump to stop these tariffs and to take these tariffs away. And you're sitting there whining, going, oh no, I don't like it that the one that is perceived above me is not listening to me, is not treating me like a partner, is not fulfilling my needs, has taken complete financial control over my life, and I have no say in it, and, he just won't listen to me, and I don't like being treated like that. It's very scary. I don't like it. Well, a message from a vast majority of the women to you, fuck off. You should have learned to pick better. All Trump wants from you is for you to be his peace. And he can't be your peace if you're continually nagging him all the time. Nothing Trump can do is good enough in your eyes. No matter how much he does, you're always wrong. It's never enough. You're so damn entitled. Like, it's not enough that the United States gave you all of this land. Now you want him to pay for it? Quit being a gold digger. So if you don't stop and you don't keep your mouth quiet, you're going to end up dying alone with your cows, and won't nobody want you.
Farmers for Trump. Farmers for Trump. Y'all might want to get in here. I know you're going to want to get in here for this one. And have a seat while you're at it, because when I finish telling you what I just learned, your knees going to buckle. Okay. One of the first things the Trump administration did when they got in the office was they went against all those deals that the government, the Biden administration made with y'all, with the farmers, right? They reneged on contracts. They didn't bring in the last payment they were supposed to bring in. A lot of y'all are losing y'all farms because of that, right? Because they reneged. There's this company called Acre Trader. I've mentioned this company before. This company, one of the first investors was a guy named J.D. Vance. Yes, the vice president y'all voted into office. J.D. Vance was one of the first investors. Guess who we're investing along with J.D. Vance? South Africans. You get where I'm going? South Africans were investors. Many of them. So now fast forward to today. You guys are losing your land, right? Trump just brought and is still bringing over thousands of South Africans. You get where I'm going? He's bringing in thousands of South Africans. Where do you think those South Africans going to end up? Where do you think they're going? Acre Trader has confiscated, or you can say purchased, whatever. I think they say it's about over 40,000 acres. The farmers that have already lost your land, I want y'all to do yourself a favor. Drive by. Give it a little minute, but drive by and see who the new owners of your farms are. Gotcha. They got y'all. They got y'all damn good. Do you see this was a plan? You see, it was a plan. Now y'all see it. They played y'all the entire time. They've been playing y'all they've been playing y'all before November 4th. They knew what they were going to do when they got in there. All they needed y'all to do was fall for that old okie dokie again. You know that okie dokie that y'all never learned from. Where the wealthy white people use your hatred against black people and tell you that you are better than the most intelligent, most educated black man while they constantly picking y'all pockets. Well, now they done picked your land out from up under you. Y'all keep thinking that these rich white people are on y'all side. What you don't understand is the rich white people see y'all the same as they see us. You ain't got money. You're no use to them. You're pawns. They like to move y'all around the board. But on their level, never. In their circle, never. How many of y'all been out to Mar-a-Lago? Farmers. MAGA. How many times y'all been down to Mar-a-Lago? How many times has he actually invited you in his home, in his surroundings? I know how many times he offered to a price tag for y'all to come see him. But how many times has he ever opened his doors to where he is? You guys would never be in that circle. J.D. Vance was in this company, invested in this company before he even became vice president. Think about that. Now we got all these South Africans coming over here. And if they just so happens to want to wind up on your land that you lost because they reneged on those contracts, y'all got played. Y'all got faked completely out of your acres. They played y'all to the freaking hilt because you refused to learn this age-old lesson. The rich white man ain't your friend. You are his tool that he uses. That's it. And y'all never learn. Because they know one thing they can pull on y'all. They know that one thing they can dig at it's gonna always be paid. It's gonna be paid dirt. Always. And that's that hatred for black people. They know all they gotta do is hammer on that, and they can pick y'all pockets clean. Well, now they done pick y'all out of thousands and thousands and thousands of acres of land. Because you refuse to learn. Hatred never wins. You are so filled with hatred. You're so consumed by it. Nothing means more to you. That is costing you everything you have. And some of y'all, some generational farms are lost, gone. Because y'all just have to have that hatred more than y'all need air. It's sad. But it's funny too, because they say a fool and his money will soon part. Well, looks like that's so damn true. Y'all refuse to learn, and they keep getting y'all. All these South Africans coming over here. They're gonna cut all you MAGA Trump voters here that's been on SNAP benefits, that's had Medicaid, that depends on your Social Security checks, the veteran benefits. All of that is being taken away from you and gift wrapped to these South Africans that's coming. Yeah, they're getting the full benefits of everything. They're gonna get housing assistance. They're gonna get Social Security. They're gonna get free phones. They're gonna get SNAP. Everything they cutting from you, they giving to them. They prefer them over y'all. Y'all were just useful tools. That was it. Donald Trump even told y'all at them rallies, I don't care about y'all, I just want you to vote. But y'all looked at him as a comedian instead of a politician. What you should have been doing was using him as your source of entertainment. Y'all should have been going to his shows. But putting your livelihood in his hands, that was the biggest mistake y'all ever made. And the second biggest mistake is not learning from the first one. So, for those of y'all who's lost y'all land, all them Nebraska farmers and all those Iowa farmers and all y'all who went, bum rushed that damn poll and voted for Trump and J.D. Vance, they got y'all. They got y'all. Oh, they played y'all real pretty. When I say they used y'all weakness against you, and who better to know your weakness than your own? So think about it like that. While y'all busy hating us, while y'all busy detesting us, while y'all busy dreaming about unaliving us and watch us bleed and watch us hang, while y'all doing that, You really should be looking at them with that type of hatred, because we can't take from you what they taking from y'all. Even y'all hatred directed at the wrong group. You love your enemy. You are in love with the rich white man. And the rich white man is your enemy. You'll never be on their level. Never. Not in their eyesight. And as you can see, they know they can play y'all like a fiddle. J.D. Vance is paid. The South Africans have a way paved for them to come into acres and acres of land. They used to be held by Americans. So what are y'all going to do when they start deporting y'all off? So you never thought it was going to come to your doorstep, did you? Oh, it's on its way. It's on its way. You didn't vote just for our demise. You didn't know it, but you were voting for your own. And it's here. Go in and look at it. Go research it. Look into it. See when J.D. Vance, how much of a part of Acre Trader, Jody.
Well, it's official. The United States Senate is dead. Last night, the U.S. Senate announced to the world that they are no longer an independent legislative body. They announced to the world that they are nothing but an appendage of the Trump White House. Nothing but a rubber stamp for whatever the hell he wants to do. Because last night they voted to confirm Pete Hegseth as Secretary of Defense. A guy who is the single most unqualified Secretary of Defense in our nation's history. And not only is he unqualified in terms of his lack of relevant professional experience, but he is also disqualified because of his loathsome personal behavior and horrendous character. This is a really bad guy, and it is exceedingly dangerous to put this man in charge of the Department of Defense. But these senators on the Republican side, except for 3, all voted to confirm this man, who they all know has no business being Secretary of Defense. And they did it for one reason: because they are cowards. They are afraid to do what is right because they are afraid of Donald Trump. They are afraid that Donald Trump can end their political career with a single tweet if they get on his bad side. Because the base of the Republican Party is a cult in service of one man, Donald Trump. And if they don't do what he wants, they know that their career could be over in a second.
Oh yeah, guys, welcome back. I'm your host. So guys, we are here to break this down. We are going to break all this down. In fact, what is happening right now is the farmers are going bankrupt. The farmers are going bankrupt. Leave alone that Trump's platform was tough on immigration. That was clear from day one. So why did so many in agriculture back him? Why did they back him? They backed him knowing how much they rely on immigrant labor. Did they not know that this would affect them? Did they not know that they were voting against their own wishes? Guys, it's a combo of loyalty to conservative values, frustration with government regulation, and believing he'd bring prosperity back to rural America. But what many didn't expect was how quickly policies would hit their own bottom lines. And it's not like Americans are lining up to pick strawberries for 10 hours in 100-degree heat. This is a job that they left behind for the black people. Yes, the low-paid wage black people, So these are jobs most people just don't want to do in the United States. These are jobs that whites don't want to do. These are jobs that are left for black people. So, according to the USDA and multiple reports, the labor shortages have led to millions in lost crops. And there is a report that even said farms lost over $3 billion in revenue just due to lack of workers since 2016. Yes. So, guys, that's not small change. And these aren't mega corporate farms. These are family businesses handed down through generations. Yeah. And here is what gets me. A lot of these people genuinely thought that they were doing the right thing. Yeah, they felt hard, they wanted change, and they believed in their message. But now they are paying the price for policies that weren't fully thought through for their reality. Oh yeah, and it's not about blaming, it's about recognizing how political decisions hit people when it hurts. You know, guys, voting is always very much powerful, and sometimes the outcome may not line up with the intentions. Yes, so what do you all think? Was this outcome obvious from the start, or do you think these farmers were misled? Is this a lesson in policy backfiring, or just plain bad planning? Guys, kindly drop your thoughts in the comments below. I really want to hear from you, especially if you are in agriculture or have a connection to it. Yeah, let's get into it. And guys, thank you so much for watching, you all. If you found this video interesting, eye-opening, or just want more commentary like this, kindly don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on those notifications so you don't miss the next one. Guys, all the credit belongs to the original creators of this video. And guys, this video is meant for educational purposes, and also the people who would like to be entertained as well. Some people are very much entertained, and there are people who watch this for entertainment purposes. Yes, thank you so much, and thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on those notifications so you don't miss the next video. Until next time, guys, stay informed, stay curious, and keep questioning what you are told. Peace, peace, peace. Thank you. Have a nice time.